Hi guys, thanks for checking the video out. Steve Buzza here. I'm at the Leadbetter Indoor Academy Bangkok and I'm with the main man, David Leadbetter. So I've been fortunate enough to work with some elite amateurs, but so many elite amateurs are inspiring to be tour players, and like it's such a massive gap. Like you've obviously got so much experience working with tour players. What do you see is like the difference between somebody that makes it and somebody that maybe struggles?
Well, there is a huge difference between the top tour player and the top amateur. Although, having said that, you do see some amateurs, funnily enough, who, when they play in some professional tournaments as amateurs, they seem to play well above their level. I think back to a young Irishman, Paul Dunn, a couple of years ago at St Andrews. I mean, he was in the last group going to the last round, so it can happen. And I think that's more from a confidence standpoint, from the thing, hey, I could beat these guys, you know. But week in, week out, you know, it's a tough deal. So there's a lot that goes into becoming, a top player. I mean, hitting the ball is one thing. There's so many other skills needed in order to get to that level, and it's from being organized, having a good team around you, to knowing your practice schedule, to knowing what tournaments to play in, and I mean the list goes on and on and on. So it takes a while normally. So, but having said that, in this day and age, the players are making the gap that much quicker. I mean, certainly, they can bridge the gap by, say, going to university in America, where there's really top-class competition, and but it still takes a little while for a lot of these young fellas, to really develop their game to the highest level. And so a lot of it is belief. It's not just ball striking. I mean, you can get on the practice tee and look at these players and say, wow, that player looks great, and he's probably some rookie who's missed every cut. You just never know. So there's a lot to it, and that belief system, and it's really all I can advise to young players that, look, work on your weaknesses, don't work on your strengths. Look at your whole game, and whether, hey, you need work on the mental side of the game, the physical side of the game, whether you need the technical side of the game, whether your short game needs some work on. And that's probably, when you look at it, for the most part, the top players are on and around the greens, are probably a little ahead of the amateurs, that's for sure. And it's just a combination of things. You can't put your finger on one thing, okay, say, hey, well, this is different, okay, and that's different, because there are many, many players, I think, that probably with a little bit of something, and that's why it's great to have a good coaching team around you, whether from a sports psychology standpoint, because probably when you lay it all out, the difference is in the mind between the ears, that the widest fairway in golf, the 5 inches between your ears, okay? So that's something that players need to work with.
I get a lot of amateurs as well. I don't think they realize how hard it is to do 4 rounds. They think, well, I can do it on an 18 holes, but if you have one bad round in a tournament, you're going to just plummet down that leaderboard.
Well, you could literally have one bad hole, and you go from, say, top 10 to almost missing the cut. So you make a double here or there, and it's that tight. So yeah, it's a very tough way of making a living, but. The big thing is, you've got to dream big and see yourself. I tell young players all the time, hey, see yourself winning tournaments, see yourself at the top of the leaderboard. If you can do that, it's amazing. It's amazing what you can
remember
achieve.
the story. Obviously, you worked with Nick Faldo, and he said he envisioned the claret jug actually being on his breakfast counter on that Monday.
Yeah, and it was. So
it
just goes to show that dreams do come true.
Yeah, so you've got to work hard, but it is a tough.
It is, and there's a little bit of luck involved too. I mean, you get in the right tournament and you play well at the right time, and all of a sudden, you're off and running.
So maybe it's luck that's holding me back.
I don't know about that.